Hi, my friends. Today I want to present you a new story. Enjoy watching it.
I hadn't planned to vacuum under the bed that morning. The wedding was just 5 days away, and Kate had left early to meet her tailor. But something about that dusty corner nagged at me, like a whisper I couldn't ignore. That's when I saw it. A small silver flash drive, half buried in the carpet. No label, just plain metal. I turned it over in my hand, not mine. Not hers, at least, not one I'd ever seen. I should have dropped it in the drawer. Instead, I slid it into my laptop. A single video file blinked onto the screen. Botch Bash, Final Cut. I clicked play. The video began harmlessly enough. Kate, in her white bride-to-be sash, sipping champagne in a hotel suite decorated with gold balloons and streamers. Her best friend Darcy danced around with a camera, giggling. Other women laughed in the background, their faces blurred by alcohol and euphoria. Then the door opened. 2 shirtless men walked in, muscles gleaming with oil, grinning like devils. One of the girls whooped. Kate didn't flinch, she clapped. Darcy's voice echoed behind the camera. "Show 'em how a real bride parties, Katie." My stomach tightened. Kate rose, tipsy but eager, slipping off her robe. And then, I paused the video. I stared at the frozen frame of my fiancée in the arms of a stranger. I pressed play again. More men, more chaos. Laughter turned to moans. I couldn't breathe. The worst part, she looked happy, unapologetically happy. I yanked the flash drive out. My hands were shaking. Kate, the woman I was about to marry, the one I bought a house for, planned a life with, the one who promised me loyalty while wearing the ring I gave her. I sat there in silence, watching morning light crawl across the floorboards. My throat burned. Not a tear fell. The pain was too clean for that, like a blade slicing through trust. At 2:17 p.m., I stood up, took off my watch, and placed it next to her framed bridal portrait. At 2:21, I packed a single duffel bag. At 2:40, I left my house key on the kitchen counter beside a post-it note that read one word, goodbye. By 3:10, I was on the road, my phone vibrating with unanswered text from Kate. "Hey love, where are you? Are you okay? Did I do something wrong?" I turned the phone off. Before I crossed the city line, I muttered to myself, "You have no idea." The day after I left, the florist called. "Hi, Mr. Caldwell. Just confirming the white orchids are arriving Friday morning. Is that still?" I hung up without a word. By noon, I had canceled everything. Venue, catering, photographer, the string quartet Kate insisted on even though it was way over budget. I lost nearly $12,000 in non-refundable deposits, but I felt strangely numb, as if someone else had swiped my credit card to fund a nightmare I couldn't wake from. I stayed 2 nights in a cheap roadside inn where no one knew my name and the walls smelled of old tobacco. I stared at the ceiling as memories flashed like daggers. Kate saying, "Forever, right?" as she kissed my palm. Her tearful eyes when I proposed. Her squeals over her dress fittings. Lies. Every one of them, it seemed. On the 3rd morning, I drove north without a destination, just a bitter taste in my mouth and a duffel bag of clothes I barely cared about. Somewhere after mile marker 79, I pulled into a pine-shrouded mountain resort with cabins lined beside a foggy lake. It looked like the kind of place people came to forget. Perfect. The girl at the front desk gave me a puzzled look when I booked a 1-month stay. "On your own?" she asked, handing me the key. "Yeah," I said, forcing a smile. "Just me." Cabin 7 was small, wooden, and silent. I dropped my bag on the floor and stood by the window, watching mist curl over the lake. I could still hear Kate's laughter in my head. I wanted it to stop. By the 4th day, the calls stopped coming. I had 23 missed calls from Kate, 14 from Darcy, and 2 from Kate's mother, of all people. But I answered none. On the 7th day, I got a text. It was just a photo. Kate holding a handwritten sign, "Please talk to me." I stared at it for a long time before deleting it. Then I did something unexpected. I opened my laptop, inserted the flash drive again, and replayed the footage. It was worse the 2nd time. I paused at the frame where Darcy's voice cut through the room. "You'll thank me later, Kate. Trust me. Brandon needs to know what kind of woman you really are." I narrowed my eyes. Her tone wasn't playful, it was purposeful. A sick realization settled into me. Darcy hadn't just been a bystander. She was orchestrating this. And for what? I didn't know the answer yet, but I was going to find out. I was going back to the city for that. But why would Darcy want me to see Kate like that? A name in the dirt. That's what she'd turned Kate into. I sipped cold coffee on the porch and opened a burner phone I bought the night before in town. No history, no ties, no name. I texted Darcy, "Meet me, neutral place, no games, 1 hour." She replied instantly, "Who is this?" Someone who knows the truth. I watched the 3 dots blink, then stop. 10 minutes later, she sent a cafe address downtown. I was already in the car. She arrived wearing oversized sunglasses, trying to look casual but failing. I watched from inside as she paused, scanned the room, then spotted me. "Brandon," she said, sliding into the seat. "Didn't think I'd see you again." I didn't smile. Let's cut the small talk. I set my phone down, screen lit with the pause video, her laughing, drink in hand, while Kate was with those strangers. "You encouraged it. You filmed it. Why?" Darcy looked at me, unblinking. "Because you deserve the truth. Kate's not who you think she is." "You arranged the whole thing, didn't you?" She didn't flinch. "I set it up, yes, but I didn't make her do anything. She chose. You needed to see what she's capable of." I leaned in. "And what's your angle?" She hesitated. "I care about you. Always have. I love you. And I'd always loved you, but you never saw it. I couldn't let you marry someone who'd betray you the second your back was turned. So this was some twisted test," I said coldly. She shrugged. "Call it what you want, but now you know." I stood up, my chair scraping against the tile. "Thanks for opening my eyes to Kate, but I don't love you, Darcy." She looked stunned as I walked away, not turning back. I decided to move to another city, packed my things and went to the bus station. Darcy's words haunted me as I drove away. "Maybe I wanted you to see me instead." I hadn't just been cheated on, I'd been played. And the hand pulling the strings wore red nail polish and a smug grin. That night, I opened the flash drive one last time, slowing the video, frame by frame. At the 18-minute mark, something I'd missed before. Darcy whispering to one of the guys, laughing, slipping him a folded bill. Her hand grazed Kate's shoulder as if guiding her, like a marionette. This wasn't drunken chaos. This was arranged. The next morning, I called Kate from a blocked number. She answered on the second ring. "Brandon." Her voice cracked. I saw the footage, all of it. Silence. She began, but I cut her off. "How many of those men did you invite?" Her breath hitched. "None." Darcy said they were just party favors. I didn't know. "Brandon, I swear." "Then you were just the puppet," I said coldly. And she held the strings. I ended the call without another word. The bus hissed to a stop in a sleepy town tucked between distant hills and silence. No paparazzi, no Kate, no Darcy, just peace, exactly what I'd been starving for. I'd left no trace, changed my number, sold the ring, deleted the past. At the small inn I checked into, the woman at reception smiled, her voice soft. "Rough day? Rough decade," I muttered, setting my bag down. Over the next weeks, I rebuilt, not with cement and bricks, but with long walks, morning coffee, and the quiet company of strangers who asked nothing of me. One day at the local bookstore, I bumped into her, Elena, a kind woman with worn shoes, ink-stained fingers, and eyes that had clearly known their own share of storms. "I don't believe in accidents," she said after we spoke for an hour. "Only crossroads." "And I guess I took the right turn," I replied, smiling genuinely for the first time in months. Kate had spiraled, rumors of failed relationships, club appearances, and tabloid gossip. Kate continues to change men like a glove, and in the end, she remains alone. Darcy vanished from social media altogether. Whatever games they played, they both lost. But me? Half a year later, I married Alina. She may not be rich, but she is very decent and has a rich soul. Now I've built something real from the ashes. I never looked back, only forward.
Friends, what do you think of this story? Write your opinion in the comments. Would you like more stories? Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so you don't miss any videos. See you tomorrow.